Kind of has a sinister sound at the end of that, but it's appropriate because it's all about this disgusting serial killer, you know. In that iteration, I was thinking of it being, well, a song about the story overall, but perhaps a theme song to the overall murder mystery of, well, the doo-doo ball killer, you know. All right, here's Jessica, the only cartoon to survive last night's live stream. I still have the drawings, of course, but all that work that I mostly did on the image of Pat and AI Task, gone. Yes. Well, on video, it still exists, so it's, you know, you can see what it looked like and all that. But I was going to do a little more work on it, but got hit by a snowstorm. I know. Here I am, almost on the edge of the Gulf of Mexico, now known as the Gulf of America. It's hilarious. But anyway, it was a lot, you know, especially for down here. Technically speaking, they're calling it blizzard. Well, but it snowed here from time to time. It's rather rare, but you get, you know, some amount of coverage where the yard looks all white. Yeah. But it's very thin and it's gone by the end of the day, or maybe a little bit left the next day or something like that, you know. Well, here, no, it was the whole shebang, you know. It just, you could see it pouring down, blowing around, all that stuff. Went on for hours and hours. And damn, I forget how many inches. I think it reached 6 in some areas and stuff like that. Which, again, it's a lot for this subtropic climate zone, as it were. But anyway, expected that depending on what might occur, I thought, well, there might be some power outages, and thought there would be, and figured out the power went out, and that's when I lost everything because I hadn't completed it all to save it, because I'm in the middle of a live stream, so I didn't think of it like I normally do. So it was all gone. But it was very brief. It would just bloop, it was off, and I'm like, oh damn, here we go. And it booms back on, and I'm okay, expecting it to go off immediately the next, but it didn't. And I was like, all right, well, that's odd. And then it just kept doing this. I started timing it. At first it was 10-minute intervals, then it was 20 minutes, then 30 minutes, and then a couple of times it would stay off for a good while. Anyway, I had other things to do. I was going to work on some crime report stuff, and I'm like, well, you can't do it with this constant power outage, and even with timing it, it wasn't exact, so I really couldn't, you know, do anything. So I'm like, well, I might as well just go to bed. Well, couldn't do that because I have to have a CPAP. And so I, you know, had it on, but the power keeps cutting out. So I'm like, so eventually, well, I'll just have to sleep without it, you know, like a normal human being. And well, that didn't work out so great either. So it was very late in the day that I actually, because then the power started being regular after that. And I thought, all right, I'm going to take a chance. Strapped the CPAP and drifted off to sleep. Yeah. So not in the best of moods, or well, I was going to say health, but I mean, I'm just rather, you know, lacking of sleep and whatnot. So anyway, this request came in late in the show, you know, via Rumble Rant. Turns out you can tip the old Mr. Nailsin via Rumble Rant. If not, well, I got the little thing showing my PayPal address, and you can do that too if you so desire. Oh man, look at that, already messing up. If you so desire. So anyway, wanted a picture of Jessica Rabbit, and looky here, I messed that up, I think, and so I, you know, drew Jessica Rabbit. But it was getting late, you know, and I had other things to do, or so I thought. And it's just as well, because otherwise the power would have cut off in the middle of it, and then Well, that would be embarrassing. Not that embarrassment is avoided on this show. It happens just about every time I do a live stream. So, it's to be expected. But something like that is quite annoying. It's like, oh, yeah, you didn't finish the drawing or whatever. And, uh, and I would be powerless to do anything about it. Oh, the hopelessness and whatnot. So it's just as well that I didn't try to go ahead and finish up Jessica Rabbit here. So that brings us to now. Yeah. Well, first I did Pat's show, and I was expecting not to do very well on it. I thought, well, maybe I can get in a few comments here and there on whatever Pat's talking about. Most of which I don't know. A lot of times I'll come in and I guess he was talking about something earlier, and I just sort of smile and act like I know what he's talking about. But for the most part, the Doors and stuff like that. But I was actually thinking, Mr. Kill Everything popped in, and I was thinking, I could just bail. He's got MKE here. That'll be good enough. And then I'm thinking, well, I don't know. Then it's kind of like, I'm going to give Mr. MKE the attitude that I don't want to hang out with this guy or something like that. So that's kind of rude. So, I'm sitting there and then getting messages on the phone that I could do without, but that's another story. It's all very private. And thinking, well, I think the next pause I get here in between Pat doing songs or whatever, I can say, hey, Pat, I'm going to have to call it a night or whatever, but at the same time, I knew, well, no, I got to do this drawing. I said, I could just tape it and post it later and say, here you go, Karmic, it's colored and everything. But that's still kind of too much of a bail. And so just before I said, yeah, but I think I need to just go ahead. And then MKE says, well, I'm going to take my leave. So I say, all right. Damn. But, I sat there that amount of time. What's another hour or two? And, after Pat ended the show, because he really wanted to go play some pool, so he was cutting it really to the wire there. So I imagine he managed to get over there and shoot some pool before they closed down. But anyway, I got a chance to get up, walk around and all that. And then I thought, I think I can go ahead and do it. I don't have to maybe push it off until earlier in the morning, which I've I've dumbed a time or two, and that sort of thing. So it is what it is. Yes, the eternal excuse for everything. It is what it is. Let's see. We'll use the liquefy to for the purposes of matching the breasts. It's very, very important. Oh yes. Oh yes. Well, maybe not completely. All right, let's go back again. Liquefy. But boy, after that news story about the woman who says the COVID vaccine made her breast grow to double G size or G cup, it's like, man, they really need to look into that. I mean, you got to have some more control over it and everything, because boy, it was a bit much, And so she's like, had them reduced to double D. Because that's as far as they could get. Because during the surgery, she was like losing blood and stuff. Jeez. But they were really huge, and it was, you know, they get too big, they start throwing a woman's back out and stuff. And I'm not kidding. Uh, I've heard that complaint a time or two. And so um, she, had the surgery to reduce them, and that was the problem. They're like, well, we're going to have to stop here at double D. Um, so I think, yeah, in the article it said she'll go back when she is able. Um, but says that, yeah, this happened shortly after the COVID vaccine. Now, they say, well, it's rare, and it could be something uh, relative to her or what have you. But they said, no, this is usually some, I don't know, disorder or some sort of growth, and make it sound like it was a tumor or something. But it's not a tumor, and it's a boob. It's two of them. Well, I guess man, it's not able to, it's obviously that's not the shape. So how, I wonder, hey, does liquefy work on the pattern thing? I never even tried that. Well, what do you know? So anyway, I guess she'll get those. The desire is for her to get it the way it was before the vaccine altered her appearance. That's, damn it. It's very important to draw it the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Down, 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 down. Do, 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 do. Maybe that'll work. However, it does speak to some amount of due diligence required to figure that thing out, because you're sitting on a gold mine, and that's the end of you know cosmetic surgery. Well, for breasts, I mean, I don't know if you got some drug that I never did like my nose. It is, well, here, let me give you a shot of this stuff. Oh wow, that really makes my nose cute and pretty. Yes, just like you've always wanted. And you can say, yeah. Wait a minute. I'm not. See, it's hard to pay attention to what I'm doing here while I'm talking about it. Crap. What was I? Yeah, she's wearing a dress. I can't have it like that. Damn it. I gotta start all the way back over. Oh, that crap. Yeah, there we go. See, I really didn't think this through. Um, all right. Oops. Okay. But seems like it's like, oh, yes, your breasts can be big. But all you got to do is take this experimental drug that, don't worry, we tested it out on the entire world. So, yeah, you're good. So, risk it. I mean, just imagine all the attention you'll get. And, oh, we know that's vital, and all that kind of stuff. And probably a lot would line up for it. Maybe it's a commentary on society that you can make a lot of money on, like elective cosmetic surgery, rather than, um, the stuff that saves lives and makes people feel better from whatever condition they have that's tormenting them. Well, shit, this is just going to have to do. I'm sorry, Jessica. I tried my best. Perhaps it's just. Oh, damn it. Perhaps it's just the dress. All right. Okay. I know it's of vital importance. Indeed. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Right. Uh, let's see. Something of that nature. Okay. Now. Uh, hmm. Even redder. More redder than red. More redder than red. There we go. I'm looking through you. Where did you go? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Why, tell me, why would you not treat me right? Do, 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 do. Love has a nasty habit of disappearing overnight. You're thinking of me the same old way. You were above me, but not today. The only difference is you're down there. I'm looking through you, and you're nowhere. Rubber soul. Jeez, these are terrible fingers. Boy, you'll notice a lot when you're up close and stuff. Yeah, that's where I messed up. Let's see. Yeah, you're kind of okay, I guess. Yeah. Hmm. Whoops. 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 Is it no? So this will be Jessica Rabbit, and after the stream is done, it stays up, but the thumbnail will change, and it will be Jessica on it. I'll even make that before I take my leave of this particular thingamajig. Yeah, so I was going to work on crime report video, and figured, well, that's not happening because I'm getting punch drunk with no sleep and everything, and plus the power just cuts off. So how the hell am I going to even start? Well, after a while, when it stayed up long enough, and just before, I was like, I can't stand it. So I ended up recording 2 different stories. I just did it audio because I was too out of it and tired to put the suit on and then sit in front of the camera and act like, I'm really on top of this story. Um, I have faked, not being sick a lot. Um, so I almost have it to a science, but, sometimes it's like, you know, not tonight. But anyway, so, managed to tape those, so they will be mostly animation. The idea was that I could reuse animation, but then there was this one story of this guy, and it's like, "Damn it, I hope I can do it." I don't know that I can in time for, uh, Friday night's, Crime Report show. The other one I can do because that's the one I can repurpose art, animated art I've already done, and I can just drop it in there because it speaks to an overall problem that New York is dealing with on the crime situation, which is fitting. It's perfect subject matter for the show New York City Crime Report. I know. How about that? How does that happen? Well, uh, it did. Yeah. So anyway, it's a bit irritating. Um, had I been able to utilize the time, which is an always ongoing battle and whatnot, and it's like, yeah, I can do that. And then it's like, oh God, I just want to lay down. But if I do, I'm going to mess up my sleep schedule, blah, 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 and all that sort of thing. And then stupid snowstorm shows up. Can't say it's like, well, of course, this hardly ever happened, so I didn't plan. No, it was forecasted. I knew it's going to be something. Uh, some of the elements, I was like, gee, I hope it's not too much precipitation because, the ice all over the damn power lines, and oh God, it could be out of power for a good while. Now, then there's, holy crap, all kinds of stuff I would want to do. That ain't happening now. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. That's right. It's not. We'll just trust me. Her other foot is under the cloth of the dress there. She's not one legged. So, all right. Not quite her. She almost looks like somebody I know. It's probably the case. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I should have done another image search and had that for comparison and blah, blah, but you get the deal. You know who it is. She apparently wears the same dress all the time, but only a few can do that. Other women try to pull that, and it's like, ew, she's wearing the same clothes. Because then it insinuates, you don't bathe, do you? You know? So now I just buy the same outfit. I've got 30 of these. Oh. It's like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. When Gina Davis was getting to know him and stuff. And I forget what the hell how that snooping in his closet or whatever, and she says, "Hey, you got the same outfit in your closet over and over again." He says, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to think about clothing or whatever," so he just wears the same suit over and over again. I mean, technically, it's not the same suit, but it's the same look, same style, and blah stuff like that. One would like to think that it's like Columbo. He wasn't wearing the same raincoat and suit and all that. He just had the same one over and over in his closet because he's busy solving crimes and stuff. He doesn't have time to think about fashion and all that nonsense. And oh, is this an acceptable look that's not going to irritate someone to the point they're not going to listen to me when I'm saying something important that may or may not save their lives or whatever. Uh, and so he just buys the same colored jacket, pants. Well, the shoes are probably the exact same shoes for the most. He may have another pair, but for the most part, that's the same pair of shoes every day. And there you go. He's all set. Same thing with Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Every episode, the same clothes. Now the hat, the stupid little straw hat he wore, just he just wanted to. That's probably the same one. I don't know if he would bother to. I've got to find that same hat. I'll go insane if I don't have it. Doubt it. And so I'm thinking they all did the same thing Jeff Goldblum did in The Fly. Probably for the most part for the exact same reason. To not be bothered by a sense of fashion. Because there's only so much time in a lifetime, And you want to use that time as wisely as possible. So you want to spend it on the things you really give a crap about. And a fashion sense, for a man, it's just not going to be a high priority. Now, there's some things, He's like, at least he thought, well, I think I look a bit more respectable in a jacket and tie. So there you go. That's what Kolchak did. And, well, Columbo, too, with the added raincoat. Because you never know. Sometimes the weather sneaks up on you. Plus, there's just something kind of required for a homicide detective on TV. You got to have those trench coat looking raincoats, So that's, when you walk up onto the scene, there's a dead body laying in the middle of the room or in the street, whatever. And that's when you give the line of, what do we got? You can't just say that showing up in, t-shirt and jeans. It's like, you showed up here at a homicide investigation wearing that, and he'd be all humiliated and embarrassed and probably won't be able to solve the case because it's just going to weigh on him for, good God, months maybe. Oh my God. What was I thinking? I showed up there in t-shirt, jeans, in front of all my peers. It's like high school all over again. And meanwhile, there's a family member of this dead person wanting justice, and answers. And your lead detective is crying over his lack of fashion sense, just the very basics of showing a proper appearance. That also could add on to the guilt he might feel that he wasn't professional enough to dress appropriately at the scene of a crime, And then insult to injury, he's now created this problem where he can't do his job properly because, he's all embarrassed. So it's just bad all around. So basically, you got to have the jacket and tie, at least, because It's just an easy combo to think of. You don't have to think it too strenuously, and people shouldn't expect you to. But uh, it's really going to be frowned upon if you don't have the raincoat. Yeah. Especially on TV, if you're the TV detective. Um, I don't know. I think you're probably going to need it. So it's something to think about, you know. But that's that's what I do. A lot of people don't think about these things. But fortunately, there's a guy like me who will. And there you have it. So when you decide to go into homicide, you know, and you show up at the scene, you can always think, thank God for Doug Nelson. That time I was watching his live stream, um, I'm properly dressed at this grisly murder. It's really disgusting. I mean, the killer put excrement into the mouth of this poor victim. But thank God I had the decency to wear the proper outfit at this crime scene because, you know, everyone suffered enough. Why should I add to the misery here of being inconsiderate in my choice of garment? You know, it's important to think about. The doo-doo ball killer. Imagine being the forensic specialist who has to carefully remove each ball of doo-doo. Then you got to check for DNA out of the doo-doo ball, you know, and then if the doo-doo ball killer has not been in the system, man, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Surely its DNA is in there, you know. It's just gotta be, you know. Starting to panic, starting to lose your mind, like Brad Pitt in Seven, stuff like that. What's in his mouth? What's in his mouth? I didn't quite know how to tell him, but I had to, so I did. It was doo doo balls. That's what was in the victim's mouth. Brad was never the same after that. So, anyway, uh, you would have to painstakingly go through each spherical orb that the doo-doo ball killer carefully managed to craft. Now, one would think that he must have done this after the fact, like he's, you know, going through the effort to collect all of his droppings and form them that way. But perhaps, just perhaps, no, he's able to poop them just like that, which is an astounding talent. You know, I mean, who the hell thinks about, well, I want it to come out in a certain shape, you know. I've got to get to know my sphincter to the point that I can operate it to achieve this goal. And all the years of struggle trying to get it to work right. Finally achieving it, but by then, you know, you're insane from the effort and just, of course, the madness to begin with, let's be honest. And by the time he achieves the goal, now he's completely insane and just really does not like humanity at all and decides the whole world is just a big joke. And it all boils down to just poo. And so that begins his reign of terror as the doo-doo ball killer. I don't think anyone could make an argument that counters mine on that. Oh, so course, it's its own fault. He's just sitting around. I wonder if I could. I wonder if I could train myself to make perfect balls fall out of my ass. And then it became this obsession. Of course, you have to get into why. What puts you in that position to begin with? Why would you obsess on doing something like that? Of course, it all comes back to uh, daddy, or both mommy and daddy, or maybe just mommy. Dad wasn't around, or he died young, something like that. And boy, he's all screwed up now. No one really told me what it is to be a man, and all that sort of thing. So he ends up killing people and putting shit in their mouth. It's one of those things you got to think about. I know it's not pleasant. You don't want to, but you got to be responsible about the world and watch out for things like that, because there's all kinds of ways to go, but that's one way you really don't want to. I mean, and I don't think you need me to tell you that. I would hope not. I would like to think that's one of those blatantly obvious concerns. Yeah. So, theories abound. What drives a man to do that? Possibly that's how it happened. Now, I don't know if people would ever be able to train their sphincters to the point that they were able to write messages. That's another possibility. Perhaps that's also how he leaves messages behind. You know, they're telling the police, "Catch me if you can." Ha ha ha. And like, look what I did. I made a poo poo. He leaves notes like that, but uh, written in the actual matter of his fecal matter. Yeah, yeah. I think the dress was like kind of glittery too, wasn't it? Um, let's see. Well, I guess I can go ahead and fuse or merge that. Um, oh yeah, doo doo ball killer. I mean, good lord, how could I forget the topic? Um, but that would have to be. Oh wait, I got the wrong thing. Does that? Oops. Yeah. Damn it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Could just do it with the white color. I don't know. That kind of get it there, and then maybe a little bit here. Oops, oops, oops. A little too much. Not a lot, but a little bit. Too much. Too much glitter on my thigh. There you go. Yeah. He glittered on my thigh. He did what? Here. And the hand is going numb. Oops, that's no good. That either. That'll work. It'll work. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. To make the gloves glow a bit, or shine, I suppose. Now, some ways to track a killer is, what's the story that the victim's telling you about themselves? What is it about them that drew the interest of the doo-doo ball killer. So I was like, are these people he knew? And that kind of thing. Do they remind him of someone he knew? All that sort of thing. And just perhaps, you can set a trap. Pum, pum, pum. And begin to suspect it's somebody. We think the doo-doo ball killer is going to target you. We want to put a wire on you, and don't worry, our officers will be just outside. And well, I don't know, I don't want to end up with, you mean poo in your mouth? Well, don't worry, we're not going to let that happen. And then it happens, he gets the best of them. They kind of lose track or whatever. It's like the guys that were supposed to watch the victim are sitting there bullshitting in their police car or whatever, and not paying attention to the monitor that's watching their bait, and doo-doo ball killer comes in and just that's the one thing. How does he subdue them? I guess maybe he injects them with something that paralyzes them momentarily so that he can then uh, you know open their mouths and just dump it in there. Now that would be something to the point of, hey, wait a minute. He really does. He doesn't have like a bag of doo-doo balls. No, he's able to just drop it right out of himself. And so once the officers, after they realize they screwed up, so there's that weighing on them, you know, and then they turn and they see the actual event happen. And they're never the same after that. You wouldn't think so, you know. So it's vitally important when you're on a stakeout to pay attention. Oh, it's long hours and all that, but it's probably important. Probably is. Wonder if I can even come close to making that. No. I should have thought of that ahead of time, dummy. Oh wait, maybe you can do it like this. Do 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 do. Yep, that's doo doo ball. Oh no no! Don't let me die at the hands of the doo doo ball killer. Yeah, this probably ain't gonna work. Not the way I had hoped. Because, well, you know how it is, as the song goes. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find. You just might find you get what you need. Oh, yeah. Okay. Excuse me, but you've got a cloud of flesh upon you. Well, actually, it's like the powder of makeup or something like that, I guess. Oh, that's embarrassing. You don't want to walk in with a cloud of that, do you? I think there was some. They had ideas for a Roger Rabbit sequel, but it's impossible to get it done with the rights of the different characters. So I mean, I guess Disney could do it, but only with their own characters to appear in it. I think. I mean, really, it's amazing it happened at all. Because that's actually a bigger deal than that business with Sony and over Spider-Man, because this was like multiple characters. And trying to do all that, and look, they're all together. Together? That's right. For one time only. One time? You mean they'll never do it again? Nope. Not ever? Nope. So it's forever? Yes. Wow, that really makes your lips pooch out. All right. Oops. Don't want to forget the show. As slight and simple as it seems, it probably cost her a fortune. Or it cost somebody a fortune. Oh, Roger. Yeah, Roger. It's okay. He was a popular cartoon comedy act. This is what you got to wonder. I mean, how much would the likes of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck be worth for the amount of money they brought in for Warner Brothers and all that. But you don't have to because they're not real, so you can take full advantage. And oh, you don't like that? Well, suck it, because again, they're not real. Sure, you can feel sorry for them, I suppose, but why would you? I mean, they're not real. And what do they need the money for? They're not like us, constantly chasing it, dreaming of it being more and more. Is it ever enough? Sometimes. Sometimes. I know people say no, it never is, but it's just a matter of can you say no to more? Yeah. It's like the one ring of power. In the end, even little Frodo could not resist it. Sam did, but he never really was tempted by it. Anyway. Oops, wrong one, stupid. There she was, standing in the doorway. She was all woman, with boobs and everything. Doom, 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 doom. All right. Jessica Rabbit. No, not because she was a Playboy bunny, although she'd make a great one. But no, she married a cartoon rabbit. That's right. His name was Roger, last name Rabbit, because Bunny was already taken. I don't know if Hare's taken, though. Could be Hare. Why wasn't it Jack? Is there a cartoon character licensed and trademarked called Jack Rabbit? I don't know. Truth is, we may never know. And we, probably won't, because, yeah, I could just do it like that. There, you get the idea. You know who that is. There you go. And I'll put the logo there and stuff. See, I don't have that ready. Like an idiot. Like an idiot. Oh, like an idiot. There she is in her red sequins. Yeah. Jessica Rabbit. Dun dun dun. Dun. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be. Well, it kind of looks like a scene of it. So it was Jessica all along. Pum pum pum. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I better see if I got to answer questions or something. No, I do not. Nobody had anything. All right. So Nodak said hit the like button. It'd be nice. Go ahead and do that. That's the thing to do. And again, as I've always explained, like buttons like being hit. It's a button. You're supposed to do that to it. That's what it was made for. Some things are made for more inventive ideas or activities, rather. But buttons, yeah. I mean, I suppose push, press, maybe, if you want to be sweet about it. But hit, they'll take that too. And won't complain a bit. Nope, not at all. All right, there we go. Jessica Rabbit, drawn here on, I don't know. What do I used to call it later as fuck? I don't know. Nailsin Miscellanea. Yeah. Which would imply that I do something other than draw pictures or color them. But that's mostly what I do. Sometimes I do a tour on the Photoshops, and I could do that. But anyway, got to go do a Wednesday comics video. That's what I got to do next. So I'll do that. That's probably about it. Maybe another one if I can. And hopefully complete some work for the New York Post stories cartoons for New York City Crime Report. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my coloring of Jessica Rabbit for completion purposes. That's right. It's always important to finish what you started. And there you go. That's it. Have a good night, all.
up every